Hi guys, it's been a little while since I've done a top 5, bottom 5 video on this channel, so I thought let's do it, and I gave myself a big challenge in focusing on e.l.f. for this video because e.l.f.'s line is huge, it's growing all the time. So for the top 5, really narrowing it down to the best products. Like if you've never tried e.l.f. before and you picked up these things, these are all things that I think you'd have really good luck with. And I always get questions in these videos without fail, like what about this product that you once said you liked but you didn't mention here, or what about this other thing? And the whole challenge of top 5 is that I'm really trying to hone in on the 5 best. It doesn't mean there wasn't a number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 that were also really good products, but the challenge here is what are the 5 best and also what are the 5 worst. In addition to the top 5, bottom 5 makeup products, I am going to give you a bonus top 5 brushes at the end of this video too. So I'm going to get started with my top 5 first, and I will lead up to an ultimate best product, I think, from this line, but all 5 of these are really just, I think, fantastic products. First thing I want to mention is this Mad for Matte eyeshadow palette. Yes, 100% matte, neutral eyeshadow palette, but a really nice shade range and a really awesome formula as well. I find a lot of consistency across all the colors. You've got super deep dark shades leading up to a full-on black, and then you've got awesome shades to highlight with, wonderful mid-tone shades, and I just like the variety so much. You've got everything from just that classic, you know, brown you can put in the crease, a couple of shades that are a little bit more rosy berry type colors. For my look today, I mean, I put some of this almost mauve type shade right in my crease. I used a little bit of this beige under the brow. I used the pink shade on the lid, and then I kind of deepened things up with this rusty brown that's in here, and I just love all those different tones, and I was really pleased with, you know, the way the look turned out. I've done a lot of great looks with this palette. It's just a great basic to have in your collection and mix in maybe with those shimmery shadows that you own and love. And they do have different shadows here and there throughout their line that I think are good, but this is probably one of the most consistent. Next up, a product I have definitely talked about a lot from e.l.f.'s line, the lip exfoliator. This is kind of a unique item from the brand because I've never tried just a stick exfoliator on the lips, and it really is the easiest way to go. There are so many lip scrubs where you got to dip your finger in and you're going like this and it's messy. This, I mean, has really caused me to actually exfoliate my lips frequently because it's so easy. And this is just the classic one. It's kind of like a brown sugary type idea and scent and flavor, but they also now have a mint one and a cherry one, and you just basically run it over your lips, spend as much time as you want, you know, maybe go 20 seconds top lip, 20 seconds on the bottom lip, and you will feel your lips having so much additional smoothness. And I usually like to do this at the start of my makeup routine, and once I'm done, I'll pop on some sort of balm, kind of let that sit on the lips for the whole duration of my makeup routine, and then right before I put my lip product on, my lips are so nicely hydrated, and it's just a really great step to take, especially if you love all of these matte lip products that show all the problems and flaws in your lips. Speaking of that, my number 3 product that I want to talk about here are the e.l.f. matte lip colors, and these really are outstanding mattes. I am very critical of a lot of matte lip products because I don't like it to be an uncomfortable experience. I don't like to be thinking about the product that's on my lips constantly because it feels annoying or just, you know, incredibly dry. So these sticks are awesome. I like them both for the formula, but also the simple design of the product. And I've got like 6 colors here that I will kind of show you rapid fire all of them on my lips. But basically what we have is a twist up stick that is not incredibly wide. It's not quite as big as some of those chubby stick type lip pencils. And I think that's good because they've got a huge shade range. Some shades like the one I'm holding and wearing here are very deep and dark, and you get a little more precision that way. Plus, sometimes blows people's mind when I do this, but in the end, there is a sharpener that you can pull out, and you can get an even more defined tip as it naturally wears down with use. So it's just a great product. The formula of this is creamy enough. It does kind of glide across the lips, but it's very long wearing. I don't find these to be an uncomfortable product at all, and they're like $3 each. You can really experiment with this line, and I'm just gonna show you really quickly some of my favorite shades. Like I said, I got 6 of them here I want to show. Nearly Nude, I think, is a gorgeous classic nude. I also really like Praline, and I will often end up mixing these two as opposed to just wearing them alone, but Praline I've talked about so much as a great neutral. I also like Tea Rose, and this is kind of a unique shade. It's kind of a soft pinky mauve, and I think that's really beautiful. Also, love, love, love Hot Commodity. This makes me think of like a hot melon type of shade, you know, kind of coral to the extreme. A couple of deeper colors that I think are really pretty are Cranberry. That's a nice classic brick red. And then the shade that I have been wearing throughout this video is called Scarlet Night. And I know it's summertime, but I just think this is a stunning, rich berry lip. Now the fourth product I'll mention, or I guess my number 2 here, is my e.l.f. Moisturizing Foundation Stick. These are fabulous products for coverage, for really customized coverage, I guess would be the best way to put this, because you can apply them just like a targeted spot concealer, you know, just over certain places. You can go all over the face with them. You can build them up, and yet they seem to look so skin-like and so natural, but they do truly pack in coverage. So why do I have 2 of them? I've got one in the shade Nude because that's a total skin tone match for me, and I've also played around with the shade called Almond, which as you can see is much deeper, and you could do cream contouring with that. Just application wise, it's really just as easy as drawing it all over the skin, and I like to take a beauty blender type sponge and just, you know, dab that stuff right in. And if there are any areas where you were lacking coverage, you want to go back, touch up, and add a little more, you totally can. And it's a rare product when it's able to give you coverage and not look incredibly obvious. So these were definitely mentioned in my foundations that don't look like foundation video. I think they are an underrated and remarkable product from e.l.f.'s line, and I think if you tried them, you'd be so surprised, like, whoa, this is e.l.f. It's a really great product. And then my number 1 product in this lineup would have to be the e.l.f. Contour Palette. This was tough because in this realm of what e.l.f. puts out, you know, they've got a lot of these 4-color palettes that they've done. The blush palettes I think are wonderful, both cream and powder, but I think there are a lot of contouring products on the market these days, and a lot of them don't do it quite right. And I think e.l.f. really did. It's so similar to my favorite high-end contouring product, which would be the Smashbox Contour Trio. So it gives you everything that's happening basically in that palette, plus a light shimmery shade. So you've got shimmer and matte here in those top couple of powders, more of a classic bronzer type shade, and then I think the perfect tone of contour. The textures on these powders are so soft, and you can pop them out. If you had other products, if you had an e.l.f. blush that you really liked and you found you weren't using one of these colors all that often, you could take one out, replace with a different product. But the quality is good. Just the function of all of these products I think is really good. I find myself getting use out of every part of this. Love the big mirror that they have in these palettes. It's another thing, kind of like the lip colors, where it's good from a quality perspective, but it's also really good from a packaging and design idea as well. So I love that product. Really happy with all of my top 5 here. Now jumping into the bottom 5, I've got this e.l.f. Foundation Serum. This is just not my style for makeup, and I'm gonna just put that out there right at the get-go. It's my number 5 product. I have it in the shade Light, and I have a video that I can link to below where you can see this product in action a bit more. It does have broad spectrum SPF 25 sunscreen, but I just want more coverage. I really hate taking the effort to apply a foundation type product and then not really seeing wonderful coverage coming from it. I'm a coverage person. What can I say? I like coverage. I like staying power. I like those practical things that foundations should offer me, and that's what I want to see from them. So I am not a fan of this one. It just does not do enough to perfect the appearance of the skin. It is called Beautifully Bare. That is where this line comes from, and there are some really nice products from this line, but this is just not something I can recommend. Another thing, since the beginning of e.l.f., a product I just could not get on board with, this lengthening and defining mascara. And I think this is like the first type of mascara e.l.f. ever put out. Since then, they've put out some other things. I've tried them. I've tried to keep up with some of the new mascaras they've put out. Some things have been better. A lot of things haven't really knocked my socks off, but by far the worst one for me has been this lengthening and defining. The whole design of the brush is just like not a good mascara for me. The spiraled around bristles that are widely spaced are not a good thing for added separation in your lashes. If you're trying to get the look of more lashes, this type of a brush doesn't usually help with that. And once I put it on, it's just, you know, where is the product? I can't really see it on my lashes. So a do nothing mascara I cannot handle. Number 3 product that I was a little bit infatuated with when I first got it, just for the beauty of the look and the the packaging and I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. But then I really start using it, and with time I think this is not worth the trouble. And it's these mineral pearls. It's kind of going off of the idea of the Guerlain meteorites type products that are these loose pearls just kind of floating around in a dish. And well, there goes one. There's one of my issues. They fall out all the time, so it's really hard to wrangle these guys. And then you'll miss one and step on it and squish it into your carpet. It's just not the most, like, effective and efficient way to pick up product on a brush. Like, you can dab your brush in here, or they give you a little puff, and I feel like I've got to spend forever getting product on there for very little payout that I see actually on my face, or color payoff. I would so much rather just have a solid powder in a pan that I can dip into and go at it that way. My number 2 worst product from e.l.f.'s line, these baked blushes. And I will say, there's been one recommended to me. It's like a light, nearly highlight type shade that actually does have some decent color payoff, but pretty much all of the other colors that I have that look like they're a blush type tone just do not show up on me. So I've got Passion Pink and Peachy Cheeky over here, and they don't pick up like on my finger for a swatch. They don't pick up off of a brush either. Tried a lot of different brushes, and ultimately I just don't have the patience for this stuff. You know, e.l.f. has some fantastic blushes in their little palettes that are designed like this, and they're so good. And it's like these blushes just cannot hang with that. Now, it's a fail in one respect when a product just simply doesn't show up on your skin, but I think it might be an even worse fail when the product does show up on your skin, but you cannot blend it out. Like, that's just out and out frustration that you can't really get around sometimes, and it can really screw up your makeup look. And I'm talking about this duo stick, particularly the contouring one. They have some for lips that are, you know, fine. They're kind of what you would expect, like jumbo lip pencil stuff, but it's basically e.l.f.'s take on the nude sticks idea. So you get the little tin, there's a sharpener, and this contour stick has the contouring side, which first off, I think it's a little too warm to really look like a convincing contour, but also you put it on your skin and it is so hard to blend this out. And picture yourself having to apply a lot of pressure to get that blended out on top of foundation and whatnot. It doesn't move across the skin very well, and it could really mess with your makeup look and have you, you know, taking some product off trying to start over. So that's tricky. And then the shimmer side makes no sense to me because it is an all-out full-on gold. Like, what? You know, it's not like beautiful golden Laura Geller gilded honey type thing. It's like a yellowy, dry shimmer type product, and I just don't, I don't understand why that's on there. It does not look realistic on my skin at all. Yes, I have applied that and looked at it and thought, it just leaves me scratching my head at who designed it and who thought, yeah, we're onto it. We've hit the mark with this. Now, we're going to go back to the happy side so I can mention my top 5 brushes, because as you guys know, if you've watched my videos for any amount of time, I am a religious user of certain e.l.f. brushes, and the first one that I think everybody needs is this complexion brush. This is a really nicely sized brush for powder, bronzer, contour. It can do so many things in a pinch. It's not one of those massive round powder brushes. It's something that, you know, really can do the hollows of the cheeks, and it's so soft. It's nice quality. I've had this one for so dang long. It's been washed so many times and it continues to feel soft. The cut of the brush is really nice. So yeah, that's something I will use with anything from my e.l.f. contour kit to my Chanel powder. It works great. Another must-have brush from the line, I think, is the small tapered brush. This one, you know, again with the cut, it's so nicely tapered up to an actual sort of pointed tip. You know, it's not like a harsh point, but it's something that can definitely reach your inner corner of your eye area. This is nice for under eye setting powder. This is nice for a highlight. You could even use this for a more precise and defined contour. Also, my good friend, the small stipple brush. This is a must brush for anything cream blush, cream highlight, blending out a cream contour. Works so well. It's all about the cut of the bristles, the way they've left them so short and densely packed enough enough so that you can actually stipple if you want to, and you're not seeing a bunch of bend in those bristles. And it's nice if you want to do a little circular motion blend out, however you like to blend out cream products, but this has made any sort of stain, whether it's like a liquid stain, a rich creamy blush, some sort of liquid highlight, anything of that nature, this applies it so well, and you can easily build up with this brush. It won't look too crazy intense when you apply it with this. It's just like goof proof. Another brush from the eye line that I think is really great is their blending brush, and this is sort of like a Sigma E25, but it's not quite as chubby, and this little bit of a soft dome thing happening there at the top is, I think, really useful. It's good to get in the outer corner. It's great for getting some product right here in the crease and working outward. If you needed to do a one shadow look with this, you know, the flatness can help you a little bit because it can pat shadow across the lid as well. And even if you feel like, well, I've got small eyes, a lot of crease brushes or blending brushes just muddy up my look and are too big, this is not too big. Final product, would be, I guess, under the tools section, the $1 slant tweezers. They have come out with other tweezers that I think they're charging maybe a couple more bucks for. This is my favorite pair of tweezers that I own. And I do own Tweezermans and other stuff. The little edges there come together and meet perfectly. It is just the best thing for tweezing your brows. I seriously don't have any complaints about these. I only paid $1 for them. Thank you guys so much for watching this top 5, bottom 5, plus the bonus top 5 brushes. This was a lot of fun for me, but it was really a challenge. There are a lot of things I still really like from e.l.f.'s line that didn't get mentioned in this video, but I do feel like I really was able to zero in on the ultimate best and also the ultimate worst. So thanks again, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.